things so we can nip these things in the butt before we end up having to take somebody to court for doing something or saying something stupid out of their mouth. And first things first, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We specialize in ambient light projection screen paint technology. That should be on over here. There we go. Boom. All right, so I've been running my company for over 12 years. I've had video demonstrations, contracts, whatever you can name it, before even a partay or crow even existed. So this is what I need for y'all to understand. And I explained already crystal clear to both of y'all. When you get to a point where you want to take this and make this physical, you want to start passing around threats, I'll hire a private investigator, just like we did with Crow. We'll find out your whereabouts, and I'll have my lawyers meet up and contact you, and I'll see you in court. And that's how we're going to handle it. Other than that, at the end of the day, I don't care. You need to grow up. Both of y'all need to grow up. You're mad. I don't know what you're mad about. Are you mad? Is it a color thing? Is it a race thing? Because you don't want to make it about that. Is it a race thing? Because maybe I'm African American, and I've had this conversation come up quite a few times with business partners about maybe it may be a race thing. That they may not like the fact that because I'm African American, and there's not too many people in the field that's black that does this. Not a lot. It ain't the first time, and it wouldn't be the last time, that I've gotten some nasty email or message from another company or somebody might say something nasty to me. So it ain't the first time. So before we go on that level right there, let's figure out what's wrong with these two individuals. So one individual, which is Crow, is being sued. He's being sued because he went out, he started a campaign by saying that my products were so dark you couldn't even see them. Even though we have multiple demonstrations of the screen being displayed live, like you're watching right now. We have tons of test demonstrations on the products. We even had a customer come down to the house and he checked out the screen himself and was right there. You saw the whole thing. But still, he passes on these same campaigns that the technology is so dark you can't even see it. Now, if you don't understand how this works, Crow, and I'll explain this to you, if you go out and you deliberately go after a company and you deliberately try to make their product seem something that it's not, and you push these campaigns along that they're scammers and they're doing that and the other, and you're doing fake demonstrations against them, you could be sued for that for quite a lot of money. Because now you got to go to court and you're going to have to bring your attorney or whatever you got to do, and you got to prove to that judge and my attorney that my product produces these images. Mind you, I'm going to have a ton of witnesses and just about everything else under the sun. Even what I'm doing right now is considered to be evidence in court. And if you can't prove that, then you get slammed with whatever amount of money we choose to take out of you, which I want $250,000. Even if you don't have it, we're still going to get that. We're going to get that judgment on you. Because there's no way in the world you're going to sit there in court and try to prove that our screens are coming up that dark. You know you're not going to win that at all. Now, as for partay, I don't know what your problem is altogether. I think it's a jealousy thing at the end of the day. It's a jealousy thing or is it a race thing? It's one of the two. I don't know. Because why are you bothered by me getting up in the morning, making screen paint for my customers, minding my own business, doing what I have to do to make my company successful? The only time I come after somebody is unless you're going to put something against my company. You're going to say, oh, my company can't do that, can't do that. Guess what? I'm going to back it up 100%, like I've always done. I back up my work. I don't cancel orders. I'm not afraid to do reviews. I back up my product. Now, you're mad because Jamie got put on blast because he gave us an invite to go buy his product and he canceled it. That's his problem. You want to jump into this by saying that, oh, I'm gonna do your challenge. You didn't even do the challenge at all correctly. I don't understand why. You had a perfectly good 100-inch, 120-inch motorized screen right there. Both of the screens were matching the exact same screen paint. Why didn't you do the demonstration of the big screen? Why didn't you do the same thing you did with the small screen, but put it on the larger screen? Where's your black surface at? There's supposed to be a black surface for comparison to show that, mind you, with Jamie, I said that you can't, he says the Cinemax can pull a contrast level equal to a black screen. All right, then if you're saying your product does this, where is the black surface to show that the evidence exists? Nothing. So I was able to go in and analyze your video, break it all down for you, showed you where you made all your multiple mistakes, and that was the end of it. And now you want to keep coming back at me with these little emails about, oh-da-da. Don't care. You had one time to get it right, and that's it. And you didn't get it right. Okay, so you failed at it. All right? But at least you made an effort, but you did fail at it. So at the end of the day, what are you mad about when it comes to me? That my product actually works? That I'm making money off of it? That I have contracts under my company? What is it? Because it kind of sounds like you're jealous. And that's what all my customers say. That's what people I do business with every day. At the end of the day, they say they sound like it sounds like a bunch of people that are just jealous. Or could it be that I'm African American and you just don't like the fact that a black man's up here doing this? One or the other. Because you can't say myself is a scam. It's working perfectly fine. You can't say that I'm cheating and stealing from people, because I don't do that. All my demonstrations are out in the open. I don't hide anything from anybody, but you guys apparently do. You are the main ones calling people scammers and the main ones telling people using smoke and mirrors. But every time I break down one of your demonstrations, I find so many mistakes in there. It's not even funny on how you're basically directing light where you need it to go to try to make your screen look good. And then when you get caught and you get outed, you get mad and come at me. So like I said, at the end of the day, you keep it professional. You want to, you can buy my product. You can do your side-by-side demonstrations. You don't even got to like it. Don't even care at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, as Jamie said, oh, he's going to do everything he can to take down my business. Oh, good luck with that one. Or he said, God's going to curse you and throw you in the gutter. Right around the time when you said that, my Lord and Savior blessed us with a contract. I wouldn't even, tell you the truth, if you even knew how much that contract was worth on that table, you'd be really, really careful to walk on eggshells. Trust me when I tell you this. What I'm going to be connected to walk on eggshells. Because I can make a comment in any kind of open forum, ABS forums, anyone that's big company saying, don't buy from them. The product is no good. I tested it myself. Here's the demonstrations. What do you think about so-and-so? So I wouldn't even touch them with a 10-foot pole. One comment, and I could damage your stuff for good. That's where my contract is going to. Now, for anybody else, there's a particular fellow by the name of Pro HD Screen Paint. I would like to have a conversation with him because I plan to make sure that he gets where I'm at. Because I watched this demonstration. This guy is open, upfront, honest with his product. I would like to see him take his product to the next level. I know an area where basically I can help him modify his technology to make it better so I can basically get him where he needs to be at. I've seen a few people on there that I've seen with some good products when it came to screen paints that I would like to help get to that next level. You two, on the other hand, I wouldn't do nothing for you guys at all, period. Be careful in life who you basically rub the wrong way. They can either help you or destroy you in the process. I choose to mind my own business and go about my business, do what I need to do, and that's what I plan to do. Continue to work on my contracts, continue to help with my customers, make my customers have the best product I can, and continue to do what I've been always doing since day one, every day once I got up in the morning 12 years ago, doing the same thing. Unfortunately, I got to deal with little haters that got to carry on and act up and get mad because my product's working and they're getting outed because their products don't work. So, partay, I don't know what your problem is at the end of the day. I already know what Crows is from the door. I know Crow. But I don't know what your problem is at the end of the day. I think it's only two things. Either it's racial or bottom line is it's jealousy. Because what else would it be for you to get up in the morning and his YouTube channel is nothing about me. Go check it out. His YouTube channel is, you're obsessed with me. I think deep down inside, you're a little obsessed with me. Because at least with Crow, he changes up a bit. I got to give him credit on that. On his channel, he has some stuff on video games, or has stuff on his reviewing some products. He'll have some stuff on his own screen paint mixes he'll be doing here and there. But your channel is nothing about me. Nothing about me. About me. Yeah, you have a little bit of obsession right there. You need to seek see a psychiatrist. I don't know what you need to do with it. Pray, find God, something. You need to do something, but it's unhealthy. It's very unhealthy. So you're obsessed with me. So like I said, at the end of the day, I really don't have time for it. I got things to do. I put these messages out there so everybody can understand the situation, what's going on between these two parties. And at the end of the day, I don't care. Because again, like I said, you need to get where I'm at. I don't need to get where you're at. I'm already there. I'm good. You need to get where I'm at. In order to get where I'm at, you need to stop worrying about everybody else's business and concentrate what's going on in your backyard so you can basically produce a better product. Now, at the end of the day, do I hate you guys? No, I don't. I really don't. I don't even put the negative energy to hating you guys. I don't. At the end of the day, I look at you guys like I would see a fly on the wall. Is there 1 minute it's going, whatever, big deal, move on. I don't carry hatred for you guys. I don't do that. Period. I feel sorry for you. That's basically about it. I do feel sorry for you, but I don't carry no hatred for you. Why in the world would I disrupt my day and my peace of mind of thinking about somebody who's doing something, trying to do something wrong to me? I put that in God's hands. I put that in my attorney's hands. I don't deal with that nonsense. That's what adults do. I get up in the morning, I do my demonstrations, I show my products off to my customers, I show my products off to people I have contracts with. I do my job every day when I get up. You guys get up in the morning and all you think about is just hating on me. Look how much negative energy you put out. That's sad. You could be doing something better with that. Help somebody walk across the street. Go cut somebody's lawn. got an elderly woman around in your neighborhood, go see if they need anything. Do something positive with it instead of doing all this negative nonsense with it. So that's my message to you, partay. I don't know what it is with you. I know Crow already from the door, but I don't know what it is with you. I think either two things. Either you hate me because I'm black, or the bottom line is it could be the fact that you're just downright jealous. I don't know anything else what it would be. You want to start throwing out all these challenges and say you're this, that, and the other. Well, I can do that, buddy. I can go out and say, I can talk what I talk, because I got a video to back up everything that I've done. I can go out and say, hey, I beat this company. Hey, I beat that company. Hey, my screens pull up in fully lit environments. Hey, I did this with ultra short throw, long throw. I even did a demonstration where I took a 1,000 lumen projector and stuck it outside the window while the sunlight was hitting it, killing off as much as the lumens as possible. 1,000 lumens outside on the ledge. Being hit with sunlight, think about that. Traveling from 5 feet of sunlight into a glass window, and travel another 13 feet, making contact with a screen and producing an image on a 190-degree viewing angle. I do demonstrations like that. 180-inch screens being displayed outside, 140-inch screens, ultra short throws. I do demonstrations like that. Showing off a football game at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I do those demonstrations. But then y'all want to get mad at me because I keep raising the bar. That's what it is. Because I won't come down to y'all level and won't do y'all dark environments and low lumen and all that other dumb nonsense, because I won't come down to y'all level. I want to keep raising the bar. Well, guess what? You're just going to have to work harder, because I'm going to continue to raise the bar even higher. All right, people. Like I said, I got to get back to work. Right now, I got to finish cleaning out the backyard because I got to get ready. I'm getting an inflatable screen. So now we're going to design a screen paint that works with inflatable screens. That should be fun, shouldn't it? Because we were tired of looking at the white screens outside, so we're going to basically get an inflatable screen, blow it up in the backyard, and we're going to paint it, and then we're going to watch the movies off of it. So that should be fun. We should be able to fire that up probably around, I'm thinking like if we do this right, the formula blends right, we should be able to hit that probably around 6 o'clock, maybe 5. We might be get 5 o'clock. We maybe get 5 o'clock on it. So I'm trying to see what we could do. But we're gonna make a special screen paint for inflatable screens. So I get this all the time from people with inflatable screens. We're not, sorry if I'm not talking about you anymore, partay. We moved on. Bye. Anyway, so like I said, I want something that's going to expand with the screen. Because remember, inflatable screens, you got to take them down and bring them up, and take them down and bring them up. So we want something that's going to expand with the screen, have a nice coverage on the screen. I don't know if we're going to do a spray or roll on. I don't know about that yet. But it's going to allow you to be able to use that screen outside and like probably around like 5 o'clock. Usually when you start up with an inflatable screen with birthday parties and stuff like that, because you're having a birthday party with your kids and stuff, but then kids are full of ice cream and cake, and they run around all hyped up, and parents got to get up the next day for work. So you can't be firing off a screen off at 8 and 9 o'clock, because people are not going to stick around. Half the kids are going to be asleep, and people got to get up for work the next day. We all been down that road. Hey, I'm going to watch a movie? Now I got to be up for work. I got to be up at freaking 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't do this. So that's why we want to start doing these coating that will expand with the surface. It'll stretch with the surface, and that will allow us to be able to fire up. You can fire your projector by 5 o'clock, which is cool. Probably before the birthday cake pop in, which will be pretty cool. So we're going to test out a couple of screens, and we'll see where we go from there. So that'll be for next week. All right, guys, I got to go. I got some more stuff I got to do, and I'm going to get my air conditioner back on because I ain't cooking in here. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this painting, right? I told you this painting's weird, right? So let me show you something interesting. You know what's interesting about that painting? That is the exact same label that was used from the company in Europe when I signed the 10-year contract under Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. The company that tried to take my company from me, that's their label. That's what they used to make their label. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, I've seen this somewhere before, and I liked it so much, the painting, that I bought it. I bought the painting, hung it up, I liked it. And I kept looking like this looks familiar. And I realized when I went upstairs to check the YouTube channel, when I went to check the European YouTube channel, that's what they used for the logo. They just cut off that part. So they had those curve come in, and they cut off that part right there. This was the company, I think, what was it, 2012? Yeah, they tried to take my company from me. And I had to go in. That's when I met Zone 708 and Superman. McCliff. He had a strange name. But anyway, they were beta testers for us. And this is the company right here. Look at this shit right here very carefully. That's the company right there that basically, that's one of the labels they developed that tried to take my company from me. And I was locked in a 10-year contract. So it was kind of hard for me to get out of this contract. So I'm locked in here with these people. So we came up with the company under Digital 4K Crystal Onyx in 2015. That was right around the time I bumped into Black Diamond. So that's when we started developing technology on the Black Diamond. That's why if you look at those, if I ever sent you those papers, those documents on the lawyers from Black Diamond, you'll notice that the date at the bottom says 2015, and the email was sent to was Digital 4K Crystal Onyx, which is right around that time. So we developed these black screens, and they tried to take us to court and sue us because they were saying that they had rights to everything we designed. They lost because they only had rights to digital and crystal screen paint. Like I said, I've been through this before. I've been to court before over crazy stuff. And they took me to court because they were saying that everything that I developed belonged to them. And I was like, no, it doesn't. I only signed over my company, which is under Digital 1 Crystal Screen Paint. So under Digital 1, they could get me, but under Digital 4K, they couldn't. So I designed a whole new company. And what I did with the whole new company is we developed all new products, obsolete all the new ones, and had the beta testers do side by side to degrade the other thing to get rid of it. And they basically bailed out of the contract. And that's how I was able to get out of it. I had to reconstruct my company. But it was not easy and it was a very hard thing to do. But yeah, you know, like I said, they tried to take my, you know, so that's why I don't do overseas. I never will do an overseas contract. Well, I've done a few of them, but they're just kind of. I saw something that was pretty cool. What is it? HD Vive has these business VR glasses. You ever seen these things before? I'll put a link at the bottom so you can check it out. They got these VR glasses where you can conduct business with other people from all over the world with these glasses, and they're freaking insane. Oh, I can't wait. You have to have some requirement you need to do to get them. But I'm going to talk to some people. Like I said, I don't have that kind of reach. But I'm going to talk to some people that can get me the requirements to get those glasses. So I'm going to show you right here. This is the contract under my company, under Digital 1 Crystal Screen Paint, and partay, Crow, so you can understand, when I was developing gray screen paints, like you guys were, this is where I was at. I was contracted, 10-year contract with a company for under Digital 1 Crystal Screen Paint. If you go back to my old YouTube channel, you hear me say this is Kenneth Bird from Digital 1 Crystal Screen Paint. Yes, I was contracted with the company. That is my screen paint right there on display, right there. So on display, that's my product. Right there, this is all my stuff that's being displayed. So while you guys were up there, you know, you guys weren't heard of at this time. You didn't even exist when I was doing this right here. Didn't even exist. See right there? Digital 1 Crystal High Def 3.64K. I was around. These are the people that were basically trying to take from my company. Now, you see that little logo in the back of the ship? Right there? That right there is the same painting that I have downstairs in my living room, which I find kind of funny because at that particular time when I was working with these people, I was living in a little tiny rented room trying to get my company to grow. And of course I'm not going to pass up the chance to sign a 10-year contract to be able to have myself distributed all over the world. I mean, that's every person who makes screen paints their dreams. I had to lock in that good contract, so I locked the contract in. I never forget, I got up early in the morning. I met them at Subway's on Girard Avenue, and they came in, 3 of them came in. And we talked for a little bit. They discussed what they wanted, and they transferred me over $3,200 into my PayPal account. They said, we only need this much, you keep the rest. So I contacted 3 of my friends, which I'm my vice president and a good friend of mine, said, hey, look, I got a big order coming, I need some help. I'll pay you guys like $1,000 each just to help me out. So we did the whole entire job in my buddy's garage over like in the Northeast. We did the job over there. We got everything done. We posted the pictures online and everything. And it was fantastic. It was fantastic that finally I think someone really had but the whole entire time they were planning to take my product and redesign the label. They were taking my product and they were going to basically change it the way they wanted to change it. And bit by bit by bit, they were going to squeeze me out of my company. And this is where I found out about how they were telling me, and they were pressuring me, telling me that, look, you're going to have to remove your prices because we can't have our customers seeing the prices because this is going to cause a conflict of interest. This is what I first found out about people, when companies do this sometimes. But they didn't want to give me a retainer. So basically what it is that when they tell you that you have to remove your prices because they don't want, you say your prices are lower, and say they're charging like $2,000 or $3,000 a kit, right? So somebody may come in and see the website and go, wait, it's over here for like $250. Why am I paying all this money out? So that's what they're afraid of, that it was going to cause an imbalance. And I could understand some of that, but it just I was losing a lot of money because nothing was hardly coming to my account because they were siphoning from my company. Now the company I'm with right now, you might say, well, Ken, that's going to be the same thing. No. They put me on, I'm not going to tell you how much money they pay me a month, but it's a good amount. So until my company say like, all right, they're doing commercials and stuff like that for my company, and they don't want people going online and finding out who I am, and they tell me, okay, we need to take down your marketplace. Well, in order if I take down my marketplace, I have to have a way to survive, because this is how I make money. I don't work a 9 to 5. This is how I make my money. So they have to pay me something every single month to make sure that I have enough money to be able to pay my bills and live my lifestyle. And that's what I have in that contract right there. And that contract says that they got to pay me, I'm not going to tell you what it is, a certain amount of money every month in order for me to be able to maintain my lifestyle, while they're going through the transition of changing over designing the new websites and doing the transition over. So in that transition, my website, my page will go down. It would block. No one will be to order from there, but I'll still keep getting paid. So that's what they'll have to pay me out. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but trust me, it's enough for me to be able to buy some really cool freaking toys. And they didn't even care. I could have won a little higher than that. Didn't care. I just went for what I needed. I only take what I need. I never take more than what I need. Maybe a little something to take care of my bills and everything, a little splash over money if I want to go pick up a couple 4K projectors, or I want to go splurge a little bit, take some people out or whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? If the money's there. So I made sure, and I learned from that. I learned from this mistake right here to protect myself better in this deal right here. You learn from your mistakes. I never asked for that in the contract here. So they came in and they were taking all my business from me, and I wasn't making anything at all, period. And then it got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. And I couldn't call anybody. No one was responding back to me, nothing. It was blocking me off completely. This guy right here, I talk to these people every single day. Every day I talk to them every day. They contact me every day. They email me. They keep me in the loop all the time. They kept me out of the loop. I didn't even know this was going on until one day my buddy was like, you might want to check out that Facebook page real quick. Something's going on the page. And this is when I found out about that. So a lot of things they didn't tell me about. So I learned in this mistake right here, in the next contract, next time, ask for that retainer, because that retainer, when they go to that transition, they say, look, you have to shut your site down. And I'm like, well, how long is it going to take for you guys to get an order in? Well, we'll get an order in real soon. We'll send you something. And then they'll never send you anything. And your business is suffering. You're suffering the whole entire time. It's your company, and you're not making any money off it. Somebody's making money off your business. So that's what I learned this time around. Hey, y'all got to pay me blah, 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 blah every single month when this transition goes through, because I want to make sure I can continue to make money. At least to invest in the other stuff, you know what I mean? If I can't sell to customers, at least I can invest in the other things, you know what I mean? Work on new products and stuff like that and advertise those, so by the time they do get the websites up and going, my customers can go and order from them, and they can get hooked up with all the new stuff we've been displaying. So, but they're not playing around on their end. They're keeping it real. But yeah, this is what I went through. So like I said, it's funny because that ship right there is the exact same ship that I had downstairs in my living room. And at that particular time, like I said, when I was doing this, I was working out of a tiny little room, and I was making screen paint products. And now I'm in a house with that picture in my living room. I'm gonna take that same picture, I'm gonna put it in that big house I'm planning to get. Because from here, I'm not gonna be here much longer. My attorneys, we go to court in September, so my attorneys are getting ready. Not for that, something else. Some dumb incident where somebody was running their mouth about something they didn't know anything about, by saying that, oh yeah, he got sick because of the paint. Oh, he got sick because of COVID. Well, what would be the point of me going and getting COVID shots to begin with if I got sick from COVID to begin with at all? That don't even make any sense. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. And I got lung damage. And I showed the video on Facebook where I was ranting to the house because I was upset. I'm paying $1,800 a month to live at that house. Like $1,800 a month to live at a house that didn't even have a freaking backyard. It was a lot of money. But it was because where it was at. That's why. And this big company came in. I got the house, went downstairs in the basement, couldn't figure out why the finished basement was like in 2 different primers. Well, I didn't pay any mind because he was working on it. And then eventually, I started having some problems. They were rushing me in and out of the hospital like 4 or 5 times a month. This rapid heartbeat, had no feeling in my legs and hands, and coughing constantly all the time, and dizzy spells and headaches. And the worst was the breathing. The breathing was the worst. Kind of felt like he was breathing through a straw, like he was trying to suck oatmeal through a straw. That's how it felt. Every freaking day. And I'm thinking that maybe it's my stress, maybe it's my job that's doing this, maybe I need to take a couple of days off from work. That's what I need to do. So I took about a couple of days off, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse. Every time I went in that basement, I coughed more and more and more. But I never picked up there was mold in the house, because that's a house I was living with the condensed lighting. It's a nice place. I didn't think about all that. Like, what's the odds? I mean, I did the research, and I found a good realtor and all. Everything was good. And eventually, along the line, I ended up going to the hospital because I couldn't get my heart rate to go down. I almost died. So I was downstairs trying to get the house ready, and my heart rate went doo 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 doo, and it just kept skipping beats. It went doo 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 doo. Oh my God. That was the most terrifying thing I ever went through in my life. I literally thought that was my last day right there. I literally thought. I remember when I was in the paramedics, I was trying to relax, I was trying to pray, and I was trying to tell the paramedic that I didn't want to die. That I wasn't ready to go yet. That I didn't want to die. That's all I kept saying, I didn't want to die. But eventually, when I got to the hospital, it started to slow down a little bit. Never forget that. That was the day I bought the Optima GT. The same day that I got my Optima GT 5600 that came in. It was the same day when that happened. That's what that projector reminds me of. So then, long story short, I went through a year of that. Didn't even know I was poisoned, being killed. The house was killing me for 1 year. And then eventually, it got so bad that I literally couldn't go in the basement and work anymore. And I had to work upstairs. So then after that nonsense, and for those of you who are liking this, I'm going to tell you something right now. My case, you don't want to even know where I'm getting on that one. It's insane on top of that too. Put it this way. The people who made me sick got ties to the Eagles organization. Let's put it that way. That's how big their company is. I'm going to have a lot of power by next year. A lot of heavy reach. It's going to be insane. But let me finish this off real quick. So anyway, after that nonsense went through, yeah. So I hired a whatchamacallit. I was going to leave the house. I was just going to move and leave the house. I had about say about 20 grand in my account. I was going to leave the house and get another house and just leave from there. But my ex was telling me, no. Don't tell him anything. Don't have him come down and fix nothing. Go hire yourself an inspector. And that's what I did. I hired an inspector. Inspector came through. They did lab results, test the whole 9 yards. Dude put a mask on. He had a freaking 3M mask on. Full mask with the respirators on each side. When he went in the basement, came up and said, y'all got to move. I said, what's wrong? He said, you know that cough you keep having? And this was back in 2019 before COVID hit. He said, you got mold poisoning. And I'm like, what? He said, this is the results. This is what we found downstairs. Crazy amounts of mold downstairs. Crazy. They painted over it. So I breathed all this black mold in. So then I went down and contacted an attorney that specializes, I'm going to tell you my attorney's name, that specialized in mold only. Contacted them. We talked a little bit. I showed him the lab results. He said, sign the papers right here, Mr. Berger. Right there. Sign the papers. We'll be in touch. Then from there, they handle the business right now. Went down to see a lung doctor. They did a thing where they run a camera down your throat to check your lungs and everything came up. I didn't have cancer, which was good. I didn't have, this message is not for you, partay, but you, if you listen, you can if you want to. I didn't have cancer. I didn't have any decaying in my lungs, and that was all good. I was pretty healthy because I worked out every day anyway, and I don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, and none of that stuff. So, I'm real careful about what I put in my body. So that pretty much helped me out right there. And mostly all of it was God, basically, because anything could have popped up on that camera. So when I came out of that right there, they told me my lungs were scarred really bad. Like I had white scarring all throughout my lungs. So they put me on the inhaler. They put me on Syndicor. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Prednisone. Some other thing they got me on to curb the prednisone, which is kind of crazy. So I take all that medication when I get up in the morning. And then I got to learn to train myself to get over the anxieties, because then there's stuff that comes along with it when you have to mentally train yourself. Like if I'm working throughout the day, I learn to teach myself to shut down, sit down, turn my relaxation on, listen to my Christian music, and relax. If I'm doing too much, because my body will tell me that if I can't breathe correctly, if I can't catch that air, you're doing too much, shut it down. Because last time I did that, I ended up in the hospital. So I'm teaching myself not to depend on the medication, but to depend on more on God and depend on more on doing things that I can control. Because most of it's anxiety attacks, anxiety in your head, your brain messing with you, telling you can't breathe. That's why if you ever see a sugar jar, and many of my videos full of cough drops, because I take those cough drops sometimes because being able to breathe basically cuts down a lot of the anxiety. These little tricks you got to teach yourself in order to survive through it. So, all that I went through and all the other nonsense, seeing a psychiatrist because of mental anguish and being upset and all the crap I had to go through. So at the end of the day, I'm set for life. If I wanted to basically, this company, you don't understand this, the magnitude of the company that put me in this situation, made me sick like this. Where they stand at right now, I could walk away from my company and never go back. I could die 6 times over and I wouldn't put a scratch in it. That's how big my lawsuit is, because of what these jokers did to me. See, people have to understand is, in a lawsuit, you gotta have 2 things. You gotta have a company that can afford to pay you out, and you gotta have damages that can be paid out. So anywhere, you have to have lifetime injury. My injuries are lifetime. This is gonna be with me for the rest of my life. I'll be on inhalers for the rest of my life. I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. I was perfectly healthy when I walked in that house. When I came out of it, it got worse. And then the crazy thing about it is that I got diagnosed with lung disease on top of that because of what happened in the house. But the thing about it is things change, which means when I left the house and I came here, I got stronger. Medication started working better. I was able to function better. I was able to breathe better when I got out of that house. They can see that there was a difference between me staying there because on their end, their lawyers were trying to say, well, no, he always had that since day one. No, I didn't have that since day one. But long story short, that's what it is. So if I choose that I want to walk away from my company and never, ever come back ever again, I have options. God has blessed me with options to be able to choose how I want to do my life. And what I'm planning to do in my life, when I get done all this, I'm going to get blessed with a massive contract. I got this thing coming through with these lawyers to get that all taken care of. And what I'm planning to do in my life is I'm planning to basically work on my company, develop better technology, bring out better prices for my customers, and donate money to charity, because that's what I want to do. I want to donate money to charity. I want to be able to go to help kids that have cancer. I want to be able to help people that don't have enough food. I want to be able to do all kinds, build better housing for other people. That's what I want to do. Shipping container homes are nice, so I'm thinking about doing it too. Shipping containers is a good idea. If you buy some land and a few of them containers, you ever seen a shipping container home? They are gorgeous, and they're not hard to build. They're not expensive. I mean, there's so many people that need help. That, like I said, I don't got time for all this negative, dumb nonsense. I'm putting my stuff towards something positive, something that can help somebody else at the end of the day. And on top of that, I mean, you got a bunch of youths. Well, we got COVID now, which is kind of jacked up, but you got a bunch of youths that are running around with nothing to do. You know why? Because the city's shutting down all the rec centers, libraries, all that stuff that's shut down. Kids ain't got no place to go to. When I was a kid, you had plenty of places to go to. You had Boys Club, Boy Scouts, the library. There's all kinds of stuff. I remember the school that I used to go to called Shortridge Middle School would have movie theater night. You could go on there for $1 and get a bag of popcorn, and you could watch Fist of the Dragon, all that Bruce Lee movies, Kung Fu Theater, the Five Deadly Venoms, all that stuff when I was coming up. So instead of me being on the street getting in trouble, I was in there watching Bruce Lee movies with a bunch of my friends. This is what they need to do. We wouldn't have so many problems out here with kids and stuff. They had some place to direct some of this energy to. That's why I should open up some art centers and stuff like that. They can go in there and they can express themselves. You never know, you might have the next man go. So that's what I plan to do with my money when I get it. There's a lot of these soup kitchens and make sure people are done the right way. Help them out. Help them get on their feet. That's what I want to do with my life. The rest of you guys, partay, you can continue hating me. At the end of the day, I don't care. I got plans. I got things I got to do. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. Whether y'all like me or not. But at the end of the day, I got no hatred for y'all, and I don't. I mean, there's the days where I look at y'all and I just shake my head. But at the end of the day, I don't hate y'all. I don't give the devil that opportunity to do that. You have to understand, at the end of the day, you know, if you're going to call yourself to be a true man of God, you got to understand, you can't hate somebody and expect for God to you can't, put it this way, I can't hate my brother and turn around and expect for God to give me forgiveness. I do plenty of dumb stuff in my day to basically need forgiveness. I've cursed a few times and done some dumb. I'm human. I've done some dumb stuff. So I need to forgive other people so God can forgive me for the dumb stuff that I do. That's the difference between me and you. At the end of the day, I don't have no hatred for anybody. I just love everybody. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to defend my company. I'm going to do what I have to do. And if you're going to come against my company and you're going to slander my work, then I'll see you in court. That's it. And I don't have no mercy for you in there. So, like I said, what you guys need to do is worry about you. I'm going to worry about me. I'm going to do me. And that's the end of it. All right. That was a good talk right there, wasn't it? Hoo-ah! I'm going downstairs and make myself some popcorn and enjoy the rest of my day. All right. I'm out.